Have you ever imagined what it would be like to see millions of gigantic titans relentlessly marching across the land, crushing everything in their path? An almost unimaginable apocalyptic scenario, right? Yet, this was the terrible fate that nearly befell the world in the anime Attack on Titan. The Rumbling, an unprecedented event in the fictional history of humanity. How did it all begin, and what led to such a catastrophe? This is the epic story behind the Rumbling that you cannot miss. Let's go back to the early chapters, where humanity lived confined behind huge concentric walls, threatened by gigantic and seemingly irrational titans. Little was known about the true nature of these frightening beings or their origin. The very existence of the walls was a deep mystery until a shocking incident revealed an even more disturbing truth. The walls were actually made of millions of hardened colossal titans, just waiting to be unleashed. This revelation shed new light on the so-called rumbling deterrence, the existential threat that if the island of Parity were attacked, all these titans would be unleashed to crush life on Earth. For over a century, this doctrine kept Eldia's enemies at bay, but the reasons behind it were a well-guarded secret. Throughout the story, we learn that the ancient King Karl Fritz, in a controversial act, erected the walls and issued the ultimatum of the Rumbling as an empty threat. In fact, he made a vow of pacifism mystical, ensuring that none of his successors would use the fearsome power of the Founder Titan as a weapon. This was a desperate attempt to allow Eldia to live in relative peace before retribution finally arrived, as he believed it would one day. For decades, this ghostly threat deterred any action against Parity. But eventually, the precarious balance unraveled when Marley began training a unit of Eldian warriors to infiltrate the walls. Amid this deadly chess game, Grisha Jaeger, an Eldian restorationist, inexplicably stole the Attack Titan's power, allowing him to glimpse disturbing visions of the future, including the apocalyptic rumbling unleashed by his own son, Eren. As the story progresses, the pieces finally move to the inevitable confrontation when Eren Jaeger obtains the Founder Titan, the most powerful of all. Despite dark warnings from both sides about the danger of the rumbling, Eren follows a dark path of seemingly unmotivated destruction. His determination is reinforced by flashes of a distant future where he truly unleashes the rumbling, massacring 80% of humanity. In a critical moment, Eren summons Ymir Fritz, the enslaved founder of the Titans, and persuades her to break the chains of her servitude. With this symbolic act of freedom, Ymir lends her power to Eren, allowing him to harden the walls and release the colossal titans to fulfill their apocalyptic destiny. What follows is an unprecedented destruction as an endless tide of titans begins to march across the world. Entire cities are reduced to ruins as colossal feet crush everything in their path. Despite the heroic efforts of Eren's allies and United Nations from around the world, nothing seems capable of stopping the relentless advance of the rumbling. Amid the carnage, shocking revelations come to light. Eren admits in advance that his victory is only temporary, anticipating his own premature end. He also glimpses the crucial role of Mikasa Ackerman in the final fate of the Titan's power. In a tragic twist, Mikasa is forced to confront her deepest feelings by killing Eren himself, freeing Ymir from her eternal servitude and ending the rumbling. When the dust finally settles, the world lies in ruins, with only a somber fraction of humanity remaining. However, the seeds of hope are planted when Marley extends a diplomatic olive branch to the island of Parity. Despite the incalculable cost of lives, the future remains uncertain. So, what do you think will come next for the few survivors of this Titanic apocalypse? Is reconciliation possible after so much senseless destruction? Or is humanity doomed to repeat its tragic mistakes? The answer may very well shape the fate of the entire human race in this epic fictional world.